Hey there, Stampers, and welcome to another Step It Up video. This is our Step 1 card for this week, Step 2, and Step 3. I am using Cajun Craze, More Mustard, Garden Green inks for the images, Early Espresso, Crumb Cake, Sahara Sand, and So Saffron as well for the rest of the image. We have Early Espresso cardstock, Cajun Craze cardstock, and limited edition designer series paper. So let's go ahead and get started. We're going to start with step 1, and we're going to use the limited edition. Oh, and the stamp set I'm using is Field Flowers. It's so pretty, and I just love this set. So using the stem, now if you're a perfectionist, by all means, get out your Stamp-A-Ma-Jig. I am not a perfectionist, so it doesn't bother me if it's a little off, or... So you're just going to go ahead and stamp that in Garden Green. And then using More Mustard and the base image with the main flower. So you can see this one's the base color, and then this will be the definition that you put over it. We're going to use this twice, stamp this twice with More Mustard, and I just sort of eyeball it, like so. And then we're going to do another one. That's not very dark, but it's alright. We'll go down here, get a better one there. Then using the detail one, we're going to stamp over, and this is where, if you're a perfectionist, go ahead and get out your Stamp-A-Ma-Jig. But I sort of like that overlapped, you know, imperfect image. So it's a good thing, because I'm not very perfect about this stuff. And you can probably see my hat come in. Like so. And then again for this image, I need to get right over it so I can see placement. There we go. Cute, huh? So for our step 1, that's it for the main image. I'm going to take a little bit of So Saffron and a sponge and just sort of go around the edges and in towards the image to make it look like it has aged. The paper has yellowed a bit, and not a lot. This one is the more simple of the 3, so we're going to just keep it simple in our aging as well. Once you've gone all the way around, sort of into the image and around the edges, I'm going to take some Sahara Sand, and I'm going to just go around the edges, just to darken the edges a bit. You probably can't really pick this up very well on the camera, but once you play with it, and the Sahara Sand is a more subtle way to darken the edges. On step 3, we'll do this very same thing, but then we'll go ahead and add a crumb cake layer and an early espresso layer too, to really give it a lot of depth and interest. So you'll go all the way around just to do those edges. The last thing I did is I take a little mister, and I mist just the corners of the back. And I do that so that I can roll these edges and, you know, sort of give it an aged appearance quickly. And this dries very quickly. Oftentimes I don't do all 4 at once because it dries so quickly that it's a very fine mist. So you just want to roll those corners and give it an aged look. Then I used vanilla taffeta, tied a little knot, and I adhered it around the bottom portion of the image, and then I simply just put it on the Early Espresso card base. That's what, for the step 2 card, I did the same thing, except I added more aging detail to the image. So this is the exact same image. I wouldn't have wet it yet, obviously. I would just come back in with crumb cake, adding a little more to the aging. You can either pick it up like I was doing, or if you want to go over a little more of the surface like this, you just lay it flat and start brushing off. Just like you would do if you were holding it, but it gives it a little more to grip on, and so it'll leave a little more color behind. Like that. And then let's use a little Early Espresso just around the edges. And sometimes when I have these rolled edges, I'll do the back side too, because they're not new and bright either. So just a bit more. Like so. And then I added a mat of Cajun Craze. And this time I used the crochet ribbon trim. On any of these 3 levels, you can use any ribbon you want. All 3 of these would be fine on any of the cards. But I just wanted to do something different on all 3, but you can really do any of the 3. So let me go ahead and show you for the step 3 card. On this one, I saw somebody do this, and I can't remember, and I apologize, I don't have any recollection. So you're going to create a, it's not really a mat, it's the exact same size as your designer series paper. You can see, it's exact same size. I just love the way it looked. So what I did is I went in and took just little snips out of the edges. Not the edges, just the, you know, little part there. It'll give it an added aged element. And then you can just kind of rip one a little bit too. And then sprayed it again with a mister. Let me get this out of the way. Get a mess here. I'm always making a mess. So you want to concentrate on those edges again. Probably over misted this one. But then you're going to come in where I took a little snip and just roll it just a bit. You can re-roll the corners, the part where I tore it, or you want it to look like a tear rather than a cut. And you can actually just tear it if you want. But just roll the bits and come back into where you took little pieces out, and just with your thumb push up the edge like that. It is damp, so be careful. Roll your corners again. And like that. So the difference in the images here, besides the added detail and the added aging, I added it to this exact same size Early Espresso card base. Just cardstock. So you shouldn't see all of it, you just see little bits. It's not a mat. And so I stamped on very vanilla the images. I did more mustard on the base image, and then I did Cajun Craze in the detail, and then I did the same with this little center part, and I did that in crumb cake, and then I did Early Espresso on the detail. And I cut them out, fussy cut them, and you're just going to adhere this little part down onto the flower, and then using dimensionals, I'm just going to go over this one because I don't have another one to show you, but just using dimensionals, you're going to pop this little bad boy up. Oh, let's see, like so. And you could do one or you could do both. I'm going to go ahead and do both. Here's the other part. I'm almost finished. I know I'm kind of dragging today. Even after 3 cups of coffee, I'm a little bit draggy today. Anyway, so you pop that up. Let's give it a couple dimensionals. And, oops. We're going to add this one here, like that. You're going to adhere this down onto your cardstock. Mine's still a little damp. It's best if you wait till it dries a little bit, but for sake of time, I'm just going to put it down. And then you do go ahead and add it to a Cajun Craze mat, like so. And I used linen thread on this one, and I really like the way the linen thread looks. I think that's my favorite. But whatever and I just tied a little bow. I wrapped and wrapped and wrapped, and then I took another little piece and tied a bow to bring it all together. But I spread it out so you could really see the detail of it. So these are our cards this week. I hope you enjoy them and you'll try them. But if you need a quick card, these level 1 cards work, I think, well. You can finish it off by adding just a little bit on the inside. So that's our step 1, step 2, and step 3. Hope you find this helpful, and we'll see you next time. Bye.